The Jaguar's eyes were 3 meters from mine. Yellow, cold, calculating. I had a machete, that's it, and maybe 10 seconds to decide. But that wasn't day 1, that was day 7, and I still had 24 days alone in hell. I'm 71 now. Yesterday, I found claw marks on a kapok tree by the bank, fresh, deep, 4 cuts in the bark. My hands started shaking, not from fear, from memory of 31 days that should have killed me. I was 37, April 1991, working as a guide. American tourists wanted to see giant otters. Day 3 of the expedition, I went alone to scout upriver, checked the route, standard work, took the small canoe, my machete, a water bottle, said I'd be back in 2 hours. I found a narrow channel, high water from recent rains, looked like a shortcut. I paddled in, trees closing overhead. Then I heard it, like thunder, but not in the sky, upriver. Flash flood, the canoe flipped. I went under, black water, couldn't breathe. My head hit a log, everything went white. Woke up on a mud bank, head bleeding, arm sliced open, elbow to wrist, the machete still on my belt. Miracle. The canoe was gone, and I had no idea where I was. I looked around. Just forest, no sound of camp, no sound of the main river. And I understood. I was lost. Nobody knew where to look. First day I walked, picked a direction, thought I'd hit the river in an hour. 3 hours passed. Nothing but trees and that green darkness that swallows everything. My head was pounding. The arm wouldn't stop bleeding. I tied it with my shirt, hands shaking so bad I could barely do it. By nightfall, nothing. I made a shelter, palm fronds against a log. My grandfather taught me when I was 6. Never thought I'd need it to stay alive. Day 2, I tried to walk straight, used the sun, but you can't see the sun through the canopy. Hours later, I found my own footprints. I'd walked in a circle. That's when the panic hit, chest tight, couldn't breathe, took 20 minutes to calm down. Water, I needed water. The head wound was infected, hot, swollen, fever coming. I found a stream, clear water, looked safe. I knew it wasn't. Parasites, bacteria, but I had no choice, I drank. Day 3, I found water vine, cut it twice, high and low. Gravity pulls the water down, tasted like dirt, but it was clean. Then I tried fire, needed it for animals, for warmth, for rescue signals, but nothing burns in the Amazon. Everything sweats. I tried friction for 3 hours, hands blistered and bleeding, nothing. Found a termite nest. The paper inside was dry. Miracle. I built a pile with wood shavings and tree resin. Tried the bow drill again. 4 more hours. Hands were raw meat, but I got smoke, then ember, then flame. I sat there watching that fire like it was the face of God. Day 4, my stomach stopped growling, just hurt. I hadn't eaten in 4 days. Found Brazil nuts. Ate 6. Got violently sick. Vomited bile. Some nuts are safe. Some have toxins. I couldn't remember which. Day 5, I ate larvae. Found them in a rotting palm log. Fat white grubs. Each one the size of my thumb. I closed my eyes. Put one in my mouth. It popped. Tasted like coconut mixed with dirt. Ate 12. Kept them down. Day 6, I saw people. Friends. People from the village, 50 meters away. I ran toward them. They disappeared. Nobody there. Fever dreams. My brain was breaking. The infection was spreading. Fever cooking me. Seeing things. Hearing my dead father's voice. Day 7. I was stumbling through the understory. Heard that sound. Low sawing, wood on wood. I turned. She was there, 10 meters away. Female jaguar, massive. Just sitting, watching. For a moment I forgot I was alone, reached back instinctively, grabbed empty air, and something in my chest broke. I wasn't afraid, too tired, too sick, too hungry. I just stood there, thought, if you're going to kill me, do it now. She walked toward me, 5 meters, 4, 3, I could smell her. Wet fur, blood, could count her teeth. 2 meters. She stopped, looked at me, I looked back, one animal to another. Then she turned, walked into the forest, gone. I sat down where I was standing, couldn't move. Sat there for an hour, thinking she let me live, and I don't know why. Found out later, cubs nearby. She was protecting them. If I'd run, she would have chased. If I'd fought, she would have killed me. Standing still was the only thing that saved me. Day 9, I found palm hearts, cut the palm, peeled the layers, ate the soft core. Bitter, Stringy, but it was calories. First real food in 9 days. Day 10, the fever broke. Woke up soaked in sweat, shaking. But my head was clear. For the first time I thought, maybe I'll survive this. By day 11, I'd stopped looking for rescue. Accepted, nobody's coming. I have to walk out or die here. I built a real shelter. Platform off the ground to avoid snakes and floods. Roof with palm fronds. Took 2 days, but it kept me dry. And dry meant fire, and fire meant I could boil water. I boiled everything, found hollow bamboo, filled it with stream water, boiled it over fire. Slower, but I'd had diarrhea for 3 days from contaminated water, nearly died from dehydration. Food was hardest, ate larvae every day, palm hearts, Brazil nuts, carefully. Wild papaya, termites, they taste like sour mint. Made a spear, tried fishing, stood in the shallows for hours. Finally got one, small, bony, but it was meat. Day 15 I found human tracks, boot prints, fresh, followed them for 6 hours. Led to an abandoned fishing camp, found a rusted hook and line, kept walking. Day 17, caught a piranha with that line, small one. Gutted it, roasted it, best meal in 17 days. By day 20, I had a routine. Wake at dawn, fire, water, food. Walk 4 hours following streams downhill. Small streams become big streams. Big streams become rivers. Rivers have people. Day 21, found a bigger stream, followed it downstream. Day 23, saw a scarlet macaw. They live near rivers, near people. Started moving faster. Day 25, heard a motor, distant. I ran, screamed, fell. The sound faded, gone. I sat in the mud and cried. Day 27, found a trail, machete cut, human trail. Led to a real river. Wide, brown water, major waterway. This had boats. I walked the bank, downstream, legs shaking, could barely stand. Day 29, found a canoe, old, half full of water, but it floated. I took it, pushed into the current, paddled when I could, drifted when I couldn't. The sun cooked me. No shirt, torn up for bandages, skin burnt black, covered in infected bites. Day 30, I saw smoke. A house, thatched roof. I paddled toward it, arms burning, made it to the bank, crawled through the mud, got to my feet, stumbled toward the house. A woman came out, saw me, screamed. Her husband came with a shotgun. I must have looked like a monster, skeleton covered in mud and blood. I opened my mouth, no voice, held up my hands, fell to my knees. The man lowered the gun, said something in River Portuguese. I managed 2 words, lost 31 days. They carried me inside, brought water, fish soup. I ate 3 spoonfuls, couldn't eat more. Day 31, they took me downriver, 6 hours to a town with a radio. Bush plane came 2 days later, hospital within 8 hours. I'd lost 62 pounds. Body was one continuous infection, parasites, fungus. The arm cut was down to bone. Took 3 surgeries. Doctors said another week and I would have died. Not maybe, would have. 6 weeks in that hospital, learning to walk again. Got news the tourists had been rescued within 12 hours. They'd searched for 5 days, thought I'd drowned. I still guide on this river, 50 years later, but I never take channels I don't know. Never scout alone, never assume I know the jungle better than it knows me. This scar on my arm is from day 1, this one on my head from the log. These burns from making fire, each one is a choice I made, and each one kept me alive 1 more day. Some nights I still wake up tasting termites, still hear that Jaguar's soaring call, still feel the panic of walking in circles. But I walked out. These hands built fires that saved me, caught fish that fed me, pulled me out of water that tried to drown me. They still work, still paddle, still guide. The Amazon doesn't give second chances often. I got one, and I'm still not sure if it was skill or luck. Probably both. I have more stories, more scars. The forest wrote them all on my skin. If you want to hear them, stay close, because what I learned in 31 days doesn't fit in a single conversation, and every scar has a name.